What's going on, y'all? We are back with another reaction video. Today we have why Terrence Crawford versus Earl Spence Jr. was not close. Full fight recap and breakdown. Shout out to TJ Loves Fights. Interesting channel. I like his channel. Informative, teaches me some stuff sometimes, and I like his opinions. I definitely like his opinions. Prior to this fight, I was pulling for Earl. I just seen more of his fights. I just haven't seen enough of Crawford. I mean, I don't bet, so I'm for sure glad I didn't put no money on it because I would have lost my money. But yeah, we're gonna see what his breakdown was. Bud put on an amazing performance, man.
Terrence Crawford versus Errol Spence Jr. was
amazing.
Not even
Who's my favorite boxer?
Coming into this fight,
I mean, prior to this, it was Earl, but I ain't gonna lie, man. He still is, but I mean, it is what it is right now. It is what it is. It's part of the game, you know.
whether you had Terrence Crawford or Errol Spence Jr., I think everybody thought that this is going to be.
But I don't know. Some of my Bud physique look a little more defined than Earl's. Call me crazy, but when I first seen him, he was on the pivot. He was on the interview with the pivot, with Ryan Clark and them, you know, the football podcast. And his arms looked like real, like he didn't look like he weighed 140, bro. 147. His arms were like really filled out, like swole. I like, bro, yeah, he's in shape, bro. He in shape for real.
Close fight. All the odds makers
Earl disappointed
Texas
Texas.
Fight a 50-50.
I wouldn't even mad at Earl, bro. It's just
with most having Crawford a slight favorite, though nonetheless, all the
it's
experts
part of the sport.
had this fight a close.
He felt like he was that. It's just his life. You get humbled sometimes. That's all it is. You just get humbled. You think you got the answers and to some equation in life, and what's been working for you just it don't work this time. You know what I mean? Like it could be any situation. You know, it could be at work. It could be with a girl. It could be with, you know what I'm saying? Like you got the right equation all these times, and then you use this same formula. It just don't work this one time, and it's just like
fight.
Life.
But what we got was anything but. Terrence Crawford lit up.
Boxing and sports are like a good microcosm for life, in a sense. You know, you can use these examples and put them under a microscope, and it still relates to bigger problems. You know what I mean?
Dominated and simply outclassed Errol Spence Jr.
Yeah, I still mess with Earl,
literally
bro.
had no chance in this fight and practically lost every single round except the first.
What's
so in
that,
this
Connor?
breakdown, we're going to analyze the fight round by round and see what went so wrong
Yeah,
for
bro.
Errol Spence Jr.
Bud was
and what
ready.
went so right for Terrence Crawford. Starting with the first round, this round was very much a feeling out process with little output from either
Earl
guy.
had round one for
Errol
sure.
Spence Jr. immediately showed his game plan of moving forward.
You for sure talking
and
about
did
UFC.
so by using his jab in volume. For the most part, Terrence Crawford waited and downloaded data, not punching much at all, and sometimes throwing out that jab. Errol Spence Jr. at one point was able to push back Terrence Crawford to the ropes in the middle of the round with a double jab and left hook to the body.
I got catfish in round one.
Immediately clinched. Nothing to note in this round other than this was probably the first and last round Errol Spence Jr. would look good in. Spence would open aggressive in the next round and land an overhand left, again set up with jabs, and seconds later would land again with the same combination to the body. But the whole time, Terrence Crawford kept his composure and kept reading Errol Spence Jr. Terrence Crawford would find a 1-2, and I think this is where he realized he had the speed advantage in the middle of the round, especially with countering Spence's jab. Spence would come back with more of the same jab and left hook over
How
the
bad
top.
did Earl
the
lose?
momentum of this fight would completely shift
Very bad.
from a close fight to absolute domination.
Very
Crawford
bad.
would find the counter early with a 2-1 in response to Errol Spence Jr.'s body jab and dropped Spence for the first time in his career. I think Terrence Crawford was baiting out that jab as he threw a jab to the body first.
I was a little
and
worried when he got
anticipated
knocked
Spence's
down.
jab to the body.
But it was like the brain go two ways. Either this gonna be that type of fight, he gonna get his get back and knock down Crawford too, or Crawford just figured out something, cause Spence ain't never been knocked down before, and it was just like I'm pretty sure that's probably where everybody who was watching the fight, their head was there. Either, like I said, either Crawford just figured out something, or Earl was gonna come back and
as he slightly
Crawford.
stepped back, forcing Errol Spence Jr. to
Crawford,
overreach
he had the
and countered with the 2-1.
solution to the
And
equation.
it's subtle, but seconds before this counter, you can see Terrence Crawford see that 2-1 counter at around 36 seconds of the second round when Errol Spence went for that same jab to the body, and Terrence Crawford was about to throw his 2-1 counter, but for whatever reason decided against it last second. I mean, rewatching this fight closely and seeing those type of moments just shows the insane ability for Terrence Crawford to make reads like those and utilize those reads literally seconds later with an effective counter. Anyways, Terrence Crawford would put on the pressure for the last second.
Better boxer, in my opinion, Logan, Jake, or KSI.
In the third round, you could tell Errol Spence Jr. wanted it back as he came in aggressive into this round and initiated
Jake
body assault and pressure, which cornered Terrence Crawford momentarily. Though Terrence Crawford kept his composure despite the high pressure, and he would again find that 2-1 counter as Errol Spence Jr. went low. He would also find a really solid jab that lands flush on Errol Spence's head, and then would step back from an Errol Spence body hook and then come back with his own hook to the head.
Clean.
Going into round 4, Crawford
was
would be the
clean.
one starting relatively aggressive and being a little more offensive, especially with the jab. In the middle of the round, in the middle of the ring, Terrence Crawford found a left hook and left uppercut that landed clean in the inside. Moments later, Crawford would land a huge left hand over the top that would really emphasize that he was on the offensive. And from here, Terrence Crawford would tee off and land practically everything, and you could see the damage on Errol Spence Jr.'s face. Another jab would land at around 40 seconds of this fight, and what I noticed when watching this, with hindsight, is that Errol Spence Jr. just couldn't adjust. He kept walking forward.
No adjustments by Earl.
And Terrence Crawford just picked him apart.
I think, like I said, I think in his mind, this was crazy. I think in his mind, he was just like, bro, like, he low key, like, he wasn't accepting mentally that, you know, he's supposed to go inside of it. Oh, okay. I would just put him on the floor, you know, fall. But I think in Earl's mind, mentally, he couldn't accept that I'm not going to break him down. I'm not going to land that one shot that's going to knock him down back. It was like, bro, I have to knock him down. I have to get this shot. I have to keep fighting the same way I'm fighting. It wasn't no backup plan. It was just that. That was it. But I mean, that was I guess lack of preparation and hubris in a way, you know. He felt like all he had to do was go out there and be himself. Like I said, maybe he had a backup plan, but I didn't see it. Maybe my eyes not there, you know. I just didn't see it. He was just doing it for the check. But I mean, like, it's the fourth round. He wasn't as much as he was getting worked. It's like I've never seen somebody come in the ring in the fourth round and be like, "Are you okay?" I've never seen that. I don't know. Like this early in the fight, round 5.
As the ringside doctor had to
I never
check
seen that
in
early.
for Errol Spence Jr. and see whether or not he was okay to continue. And even though he was able to continue, he was clearly not okay as Terrence Crawford continued to pour it on and stepped up on the pace with the offense early. And even when Terrence Crawford was on the defensive here in this sequence, he countered well with a right hook and transitioned into his own offense. Errol Spence Jr. would try to walk in again, no different, in the last minute of the round, but continued to get timed and lit up with straight punches. Errol Spence Jr. landed a solid left hand to the inside towards the end of the round, but it relatively did nothing as Terrence Crawford took it and continued his offense. In the 6th round, Terrence Crawford's confidence was almost at an all-time high as he came out aggressive, backing up Errol Spence Jr. and even stood his ground in the pocket, shoulder to shoulder, where Spence.
I watch UFC a little bit. I watch boxing more. I'm getting into UFC
this round.
with time.
Lands a huge jab that rocks the head back.
I'm still getting into boxing.
Jr.
But I watch boxing a lot more.
A beautifully timed left hand as Spence is coming in, and Terrence Crawford would end this round with a series of jabs that seemed to hurt Errol Spence Jr. every time.
Nate Diaz. Oh, you talking about Nate was doing it for the check? Oh yeah.
Terrence Crawford, and in this round, he really showcased what he's a master.
I ain't gonna lie, bro. If Nate would have took that fight a little more serious, he low-key could have won because his durability was crazy. Like he lasted the whole fight. If he would have took that fight serious, I think he could have won for sure. He just BSing.
Management.
I watched John Jones. I seen John Jones highlights.
Terence Crawford in the beginning of this round. First, he makes Errol Spence Jr. miss his lead hook. Then he parries Spence's jab, then moves out the way from the body hook.
Elite defense, bro, from Crawford.
Crawford jabs himself, not necessarily to land, but to bait something
It's like,
out. Spence takes the...
I don't know. Hold up. It's like, I've heard Derrick James say stuff, and different coaches say, you know, we look at the opponent and we try to see what they do good, and we try to take that away from them. I don't know if Derrick James said that before, but I know Bill Haney has said that before. Who else has said that? We try to take away what they do good. It's another trainer out there, but Devin Haney's dad said somebody else. I think I've seen Shakur say that before. It wasn't that with Spence. It wasn't. We're trying to take away what Crawford does well. We just trying to beat up Crawford and break him down. That's it. Like that's how it felt. Like it was nothing. Like I don't know, bro. Like they didn't watch the details of Crawford in and out, his tendencies. Maybe they did, but it's just tough. It's tough. But this it's a humbling experience though for not just Spence but his coach too. It's gonna help both of them come back better. You know, they have to. You know, the whole camp.
Bait.
I mean, the whole stable.
Crawford lands his left hand counter,
stable.
pivots off, and lands another left hand. As Errol Spence tries to answer back, Terence Crawford lands a lead hook.
He does just have an A, B, and C plan.
And like a knee-jerk reaction program at this point, Terence Crawford lands the same 2-1 counter he dropped Errol Spence Jr. with, and then backed him up with a series of straight punches. In this 15-ish second sequence, what we watched was the highest form of boxing imaginable. Everything was perfect to a T, with Terence Crawford hitting and not getting hit the entire time. Now we get into the middle of the round where for a split second it looked like Errol Spence Jr. had found something, landing 2 left hooks over the top, but on the ropes, Terence Crawford found the perfect right hand counter and dropped Errol Spence Jr. again. And the savage part,
that was so sad, bro. Bud had so much energy, bro, that even if Spence would have hit him with a good shot, it wouldn't have been enough because Spence was so gassed. And it's not gas like his stamina wasn't there. He was just taking too many clean shots. He was so gassed that it's like even if he would have landed Crawford with a good shot, Crawford was so fresh that those two, what's the word? I can't think of the word, but they override each other where it's like it was just over. Like it was over early for Spence, unfortunately.
As shown from this angle, shows Terence Crawford walking up to Jermell Charlo and saying he's next. I mean, come on, this guy's on another fucking level. From here, Terence Crawford was looking for blood, throwing overhand lefts, and to top it all off, Terence Crawford at the end of this round would again drop Errol Spence Jr. with a double right hook in the pocket. Going into the 8th round, Crawford carefully was stalking Errol Spence Jr. and finally towards the end of the round landed a huge jab followed by 2 big right hooks that clearly rocked Errol Spence Jr. Then again, Terence Crawford would find another right hand and continue to land that jab. Going into round 9, it would start like the previous rounds with Terence Crawford coming forward and signaling the beginning of the end. Terence Crawford would land jab after jab after jab in the middle of this round until finally one would rock and back up Errol Spence Jr. Spence would desperately try to fire back but get punished by a right hook counter. And then again, Spence kept coming forward, trying to find
bounce back. Nah, for sure.
Crawford would finally land 2 more.
The question is, how does he? That's the question.
More counter rights and then 1 more to close the show. So we finally get to the question, why was this fight not close? And I do think there's a pretty simple answer to this. And obviously this is with a lot of hindsight, but Terence Crawford stylistically is a matchup nightmare for Errol Spence Jr. Look, Errol Spence Jr. is fundamentally a master. He throws the jab perfect, he throws those hooks perfect, and he goes to the body consistently and pressures consistently. But this rather simple, fundamental, but linear game plan can easily get exposed by a master like Terrence Crawford.
That's the thing,
who
bro.
presents very weird angles.
Earl was nice. Earl is nice. But I don't even know how to explain it. It's like it, as they say, it's levels. Crawford was just on another level. He showed that him and Earl not on the same level. Whether it be something wrong with Spence, I did notice this. Everybody was saying Spence looked like he was like high, all this, that, and the third. That did look weird. Even on the All Access before the fight, they showed a clip. Tom Brady called him. Somebody walked up to Spence with the phone, and Tom Brady was on the phone. He told him, "Good luck, man. I'm pulling for you." Blah blah blah. And Earl was just like, "Oh man, that was Tom Brady." It was weird. I don't think I've ever seen him like that before a fight. Like maybe walking out, he looked super calm. That was kind of normal to an extent, but you know, in the fight, I mean, before the fight, you know, I don't know about that. It was a little weird, but I mean, it is what it is. At the end of the day, what happened in the ring, Crawford showed that he was on a much higher level. So Spence is gonna have to add some stuff to his game. It's gonna be tough, but he's a realist. I feel like, at least how I hear him talk, he's a genuine person. He takes accountability, so I can see him making a difference. You know, some fighters, they not fully accountable. They make excuses here and there. He was fully accountable. So we'll see.
Different movement.
The game is done.
Overall, just has a high IQ.
Let me know when the highlights are up on YouTube.
Phenomenal ability to adjust on the fly. I think in summary, at the highest level, even if you have mastered the fundamentals.
Thank y'all so much, man, for the raid, the subs today. Appreciate y'all a lot, man. Thank you.
So in
very
my
much.
opinion, what's next for Terrence Crawford is to fight Jermell Charlo. I know.
What's crazy though? Bud could fight Charlo, but check this out. Charlo is fighting Canelo soon. Bud's gonna have to rematch Earl soon. So it's like that has to line up. And if it don't line up, because say if Earl beats Bud in a rematch, hypothetically, I think likely Bud will win again, but it's not impossible. Like I said, I think Earl is a realist, so he will come back with something different. But he will fine tune a lot of stuff. But if Earl beats Bud, then they're gonna have a three-peat. So that kind of eliminates the Charlo rematch. I mean the Charlo fight. At least it pushes it back even more. But it's still not impossible. So I don't know. It'd be interesting to see how it plays out. Canelo winning.
Oh, the fight wouldn't be close, but with the beef they have and that call out
we'll
in
see.
the middle of this fight, I think that would be an incredible fight nonetheless. And for Errol Spence Jr., he should definitely be moving up to 154. And there's definitely some interesting fights for him there. And he will have the opportunity.
Errol been fighting in this weight class for a minute, man. Shout out to TJ though. Appreciate y'all for watching. Hit that like button, subscribe, stay tuned, stay blessed.
You done messed up, AA Ron!
Ain't no need to play games. I'm cool with zeros on the stat sheet. I don't care if you knew Patrick Mahomes. Them lies you telling won't get past me. If it's meant to be, I'm not gonna ask for a second chance. I'm only gonna ask you once after that, then it's out my hands. I'm not gonna question, just accept it, part of God's plan.